Hola, hola, hola. ¿Cómo estás? I'm a little late for saying Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. That's a little late, but Happy New Year's to everybody. OMG, OMG, OMG.
All I had to do was ask for space. I'm telling you, be on your way. When I told you to fall back, so can you come pick up your clothes? I had them folded. Meet me at the door. It's still open. I know it's getting cold out, but it's not frozen. So come pick up your clothes. I have to walk away. All I had to do was ask for space. I'm telling you, be on your way. When I told you to fall back, so can you come pick up your clothes? I had them folded. Leave me at the door. It's still open.
Hola, 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 hola. Listen. Happy New Year's to everybody. Hope everybody had a good New Year's. Yeah, it is. So, okay, back to business. So, oh my gosh, I was on this whole little journey going through the whole little Frankie, Keyshia Coles, Neffy, Elise, and then Elijah and Sammy. All the kids came outside. They all came outside. Boom, 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 boom. So I took a break from that commentary for a minute. And I'm not going to lie, that was like maybe about a year or two ago. Elijah came outside. Okay, that's one of Frankie's son. You know, Frankie, okay, backstory. Frankie is Keyshia Coles' mother, and she had a lot of children. They were all put in the system, all been adopted, foster care, adopted, you know. And I think that's where that whole closed adoption thing comes from, because then once people find out who actually adopted their children and the children find out who, it becomes messy at that moment. So I was following up with Sammy, okay, because Sammy was one of the last ones that was with his mom, which is Frankie, at the end of her death. And I think he took it harder than everybody, because Sammy looked just like her. And I ain't gonna lie, Elijah looks just like Frankie too. But Sammy took it the hardest. And we're just gonna get into it real quick. Hold up. Okay, hold up. I just got some time today, cuz.
What? What the did I lose?
So this is Elijah.
I don't.
This is one of the kids that found out that he was adopted, and that so long story short, not long story short, because it's going to be a long story. He didn't find out that he was adopted until he was like in high school or something. So, of course, on TikTok, they do all these story times. But before then, he was already on a show with Frankie and Elise and with Neffy. I'm going to be honest with you. Neffy is one of my favorites. I'm not going to hold you. I fucks with Neffy. Nefertiti, that's her name. And so then here comes Elijah, towards the end. And this boy is a splitting image of Frankie, just like Sammy. Sammy is a splitting image of Frankie too, but they all got that strong Frankie face. So here he is. He's older now, so he's telling his story. And I'm just doubling back on it because I remember, like I said, about a couple of years ago, I was doing my story times and doing my lunch breaks, and I was following up on the stories, and I stopped doing it because, for me, I feel like this is family business. This ain't got shit to do with me. But boy, Elijah,
No, ain't met this person, wouldn't even know him if I see him on the street. And they text me and they say, I'm sorry for your loss. And I'm like, my loss of what? What the did I lose that that I don't? And then I get another message from another person and it says, I'm sorry, I'm sending my condolences, praying for your family. And I said, how you praying for my family and I don't even know you? Who you praying for? I'm trying to figure this out. I paid it no mind because, again, at that time on Instagram, baby, I was a wild child doing anything. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to pay it dust. I didn't think to go on their pages. I didn't even think to respond back to some of the messages. I'm just sitting there and I'm thinking like in my head, like, what the why are people sending me condolences? Like maybe people knew my mother or maybe people knew, who my father was at some point. But how the would they know that he was my father? I am confused, but I'm paying it no mind because I don't want no parts of that. I'm scrolling on Instagram, seeing cute pictures, who's doing what and what's doing who. I'm boring, so I get on the stories. So I'm checking people's stories. Your stories on Instagram, baby. Click. I click on Elite's story and yeah, you see that? Where the was I? Where the was the family call? What are you talking about? I know you just didn't get on Instagram and post that our mother had passed. I'm thinking because Elite is also adopted. I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe it's her adopted family, you know, because she would definitely want to reach out. We would all definitely want to reach out, you know? I immediately called Sam. Me and Sam would talk maybe once every month at this point. Again, it was more than any other sibling I had. And I gave him that respect to call him. And I said, hey, what the is Elite talking about? Our mother is passed. Like, what? Crying. And he's saying, our mother is gone, bro, our mother, bruh, she's gone, bruh. She not here no more, bruh. She ain't here. I called Sam. It was around 4:30 in the morning, Florida time, which means 3 hours ahead in Florida. So what is that? 1:30 in California. Said, where the was our mother? How did she pass away? What is going on? And then I click on Elite's page and she posted a picture with her and Frankie and saying, our mother is gone. R.I.P. Frankie. Now, at the time of Frankie passing away, Elite wasn't there. Sam wasn't there. Tifa wasn't there. Robert wasn't there. Keyshia wasn't there. Nephew wasn't there. And I was not there. Frankie was with Auntie BB, her sister, and both of their boyfriends, and they were at their mother's house, which is my yaya. They were attempting to do a block party for my mom because that's what she wanted for her birthday.
So, just a segue into why I was doing commentary on this. Like I said, go back to my channel. I was doing commentary on it. Sam was saying the same thing. He wanted to do a party for his mother. He didn't really want his mom to be over Yaya house or whatever. And, you know, Frankie is who Frankie is. Everybody remember Frankie from the show. You know, that's everybody's favorite auntie, you know. I was getting what Sam was saying. And Sam took it hard. Sam really did take it hard. He was just like really upset about this situation. And then to learn about your mama dying on the internet, like Elijah is saying. I mean, mind you, Elijah just finding out that Keyshia Coles is his sister through the internet because he at school and his homies is like, just forgot about you, Keyshia Coles. So all the trauma that these kids been going through is a lot. And now they're adults. I said, it's a lot.
I spoke to her 2 weeks before she passed away and told her I wasn't going to be able to make it. All right. But I'm going to buy you a bottle for your birthday. All right. I'm going to buy you some alcohol because.
Yes, Butterfly. I mean, she cleaned herself up, but the monster in me want to say people would claim that they clean themselves up. Listen, let me tell you something. Mary J. Blige is one of my favorite singers. It was at one time that this lady was on like hardcore dope, like heroin, coke, crack, blase, and she was on like BT, talking and saying how she's clean, and then she came out later in her later years of life and said, yeah, I would say I was clean, but I probably just snorted something right before I came out on that stage to say that. So these actresses and musicians and all these people that's on these really hardcore drugs, they're gonna tell you, oh yeah, I'm not on drugs, I'm clean, I'm not doing nothing, I'm just drinking, and what they call it, it's a thing now, they call it California, and no pun to me in my life, but there's a thing, and it's global. It's called California sober. So California sober to rich motherfuckers is, oh no, I ain't really just smoking or doing the hard shit. I'm just doing the little shit. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. And they use California sober as a terminology because it's like, oh, you ain't really doing the hard stuff. You just doing like crack is hard, but coke is soft. Heroin is hard, but damn, what's softer than heroin? What's hot? Because fentanyl is now above everything. Oh, you could do weed. You could dip your weed. It's like you try to minimize what drugs is harder than the next drug. Okay, I'm trying to make sense of something that don't make sense, but that's the terminology that's being used now. So.
Because we're not doing hardcore drugs. I don't hear anything from Elite until 2 to 3 days later. I think it was the 21st, if I'm not mistaken. And she says, answer your phone. It's important. Mind you, Sam ain't heard from nobody, and I haven't heard from nobody because I'm in communication with him. And this is where he feels and I feel like, what the is going on? As Elite's telling me all of these things that she wants to do, all of these things that, she was like, we want to do t-shirts and, we want to do a balloon release and we want to find the churches. I said, well, have you talked to Sam? And she said, Sam, because Sam came in and Sam thinks this funeral. Okay.
See, that makes me want to go back into my archives when I was listening to Sam, when I was doing Sam commentary on his mama, because Sam is the one that did, and he made a sober living household for his mama. And Elise is the younger sister, but she got that takeover spirit. Elise is the one that looked just like Neffy. Now, Neffy has that takeover spirit too. But Elise, she rubbed me the wrong way a long time ago. And so I'm just like, because Sam was trying to get his mama out of those situations. And every time his mama went and lived with either Elise or Neffy, she was in them trenches, fucking with them YNs, doing dope, doing all that other extra ass shit. And Sam was the one that was really trying to get her out of that shit. So I get where Elijah's coming from now. I'm feeling it now because I'm like, he was fighting with them, literally like, bro, leave my mom alone, let her come to with it. But them other bro, let me not talk about them. I'm gonna be quiet.
Hey, all right. Now, Neffy and Elite are telling Latifah to not communicate with me and Sam. Our only source to see what is going on with the funeral is to talk to Tifa. But she's not really telling us nothing. She's giving us like little ones and little twos saying, well, we might go to this store, or, we're thinking about going to this funeral home, and we're thinking about going to this church. Now, when she said funeral home, I was like, wait a minute. What the do you mean funeral home? Well, what are we talking about? So are you meaning to tell me that y'all don't even have the body? She said, well, I really truly don't know. It's been 6 days. What the are you talking about? You don't know. So another day goes by and I get a call from Tifa, and Tifa is like, man, I can't stand them. They did me. They almost killed me. I almost got a car, and I have my daughter, and they was acting like she was a president. I'm like, ooh, wait a minute, hold on. Let me get my headphones, bitch. Hold on, bitch. Now, when Tifa gets frustrated and mad, she's crying, but she starts talking in circles, squares, rhombuses, dodecagons, whatever shape and color she can paint the picture, she will. So you got to decipher between lines of the important information, because you.
Period. On Mad Day, that's when they want to start talking shit. Tifa is Neffy. Y'all remember Neffy?
We'll get all lost in the Hey, slow down. What happened? The gist of the story is they were all drinking. Elite was driving. Whatever the case may be, when they got back to the house, they had an attitude with Tifa. I believe they had went shopping and they went to go get things, and it wasn't the way that they wanted to do it. Again, don't know, wasn't there, but that's what I got from Tifa. Then she said when they were supposed to be getting out of the car, that Neffy had pulled over on the side of like the interstate, because wherever Mama was staying at, it was like by the highway. She pulled over on the side of the interstate and told Tifa and her daughter to get the out now. Listen, when it comes to Tifa, I gotta take it with a grain of salt. But she said, brother, tell Sam to come get me. And that's when I knew she wasn't lying. Now, another thing that you have to learn about Tifa is when she is mad, she gonna tell all your business. Ain't a rock unturned, ain't a stone untouched. She is giving everything. You come through the door, boom. They over there drinking, they over there smoking, they over there having in the house, and they disrespecting mom around her stuff, and it's so all in there, and now mama got roaches. We take a minute. I tell her, decompress. Sam is like, decompress, hit maybe don't hit and she starts singing, she crying. It's a lot. Tifa decompresses and she said, you know what? Elite know everything about how mama died, and she said that and it pissed me off. And I was like, Elite know everything? What you talking about? Now, I sit Tifa down because this is very important. And for me, I want to know, because for the longest, I did not know how Frankie passed. Now, I heard some from Sam. I heard a little bit from Elite, like a little small morsel of something from Elite when we were on the phone. But for the fullest and for the most part, or for someone to be so vocal about our mother, Frankie, passing away on social media, yet there's no details. Where's the body? How did she pass? Do we know anything? Aoife begins to tell us, number one, we already knew there was going to be a block party for her birthday. Number two, we know that she's been sober for a year. She went to a sober living community, all right? She did 8 months there. She completed the program, and her reward for completing the program was they were going to be able to give her an apartment. Now, Sam had to co-sign for everything in order for her to get that apartment, but she did. So remember, she's been sober for the past year. Now, on her birthday, she went to her mother's house, which is Yaya's house. Remember, I met my family the first time at Yaya's house. Now, at this point, which I did not know yet because I had not spoken to Auntie Bibi slipped back into doing drugs. So at this point, again, I'm telling this from the perspective of the time period that I'm in. Auntie Bibi has slipped back into drugs. I have not spoken to her at this point, so I did not know this.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This really do hurt my heart. It really does hurt my heart because you just never know. You know what I'm saying? People will be your friend, they'll be your ally, your ops. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna be to you, but when you're trying to get to that next level in life, it's always gonna be somebody right there. And it listen, it's always your family. It could be a friend, but it's always your family. And I'm not saying Frankie is a grown-ass woman. People are grown as hell, but just like this lady, she was there, but
she had lost her house and her husband had died. Ended up back in Oakland, California. She was living with my Yaya and she slipped back into doing drugs. No longer a pastor, no longer running her homes. Now she's pretty much on the streets, running the streets with Frankie. Hard for me to tell this story, so please bear with me. Now, there was a trailer that was put in my Yaya's front yard. Now, this is not no deluxe Grand Supreme ass trailer. This is a trailer like a regular, just normal trailer that you would have seen on one of them hillbilly ass movies that you would attach to the back of the truck, and they would pull that cross country. Ain't no power, ain't no water, ain't no electricity, baby. You get a window and a door with a screen. My Auntie Bibi was living in that trailer in my Yaya's front yard, and I want you to really try to conceptualize someone who's lost everything in their life. Now they're homeless, now they're on drugs, and now they're back with their mother at the right, I'm talking about 60, It's hard. Now, while they're trying to set up and do these things for this block party that's supposed to be happening, Frankie decides it's her birthday. So she wants to indulge.
The reason why, and I appreciate you for stopping by, UP. The reason why this hits me the way it hits me, because I was doing commentary on this like maybe a year or two ago. And a couple of people kept hitting me up like, nah, I'm not finna act like they was hitting me in my emails or shit like that. I'm not saying that. And I feel like I'm about to cry or something. But they used to just be like, underneath my community post, like, when you gonna finish with that, Frankie, and send me commentary, blah, blah, blah. And I kind of scaled back from it because I didn't know, because as a human being, I was just thinking like, man, I hope it's not what I think. And then Elijah comes out here. Now, I've been watching Elijah's commentary for the last, man, it's been a month or two that he's been talking about this. And I can't believe I'm choking up. I'm really sad on what happened to Frankie. Now hearing that she was in a fucking trailer, you know, doing, and the BB lady, if the BB lady is the same lady that was taking care of kids, if these are the same people that was taking care of all of these kids, and then now they going back and doing dope with Frankie and all of this, she trusted y'all with her children. And when she got up there in life, she died in y'all hands. It's kind of sad. It's I mean, it's entertaining, and it's, you know, people, he's out here telling these stories. If I get enough, because Elite comes out and she makes her own, you know, her own, she comes outside to tell, you know, I don't know. I'm listening. You know, I'm not the nosy cousin in the family. Once everybody started talking about people business, I act like I got to go to the bathroom, or I got to go change a diaper or something. I don't know. I just walk out the room. That's how I feel in this situation. Like, these ain't my family, but I feel a little like, oh my gosh, this is too much. I swear to God, this is too much. Because Elijah, especially when he started talking about them folks with, I love me some Frankie. I ain't gonna fucking hold you.
And do it now. Allegedly, from what Tifa said, Elite comes over there and she sees my auntie BB with her boyfriend, and she sees Frankie with her boyfriend. Frankie saying, hey, it's my birthday. Hey, it's my birthday. You know, she's having fun and things like that. And allegedly, Elite checked in, and then she said, I'm gonna come back later and we're gonna have this block party for you. Now, this was before 9 o'clock, allegedly. Now, the man that my mother was dating was a dealer, some random dealer off the street. I'm not going to lie to you. That was her man. She was going to stick beside him. He was.
Now, if you guys remember, back in the day when Frankie was on the Keyshia Coles show, when they was having a little family thing, Frankie was dealing, I don't know if it was the same little young boy. Frankie was dealing with this little 22, 23-year-old ass little boy. I doubt it was probably him, but Frankie was always dealing with some type of dude that had something to do with dope. Literally. Some young ass dude messing with her. Frankie at the time was what? Mid-40s? No, shit, 50. So this shit is unbelievable.
Told to not give her anything for her birthday besides maybe some alcohol, because again, I was gonna send Sam some money, so he gonna lie to you. That was her man. She was gonna stick beside him. He was told to not give her anything for her birthday besides maybe some alcohol, because again, I was gonna send Sam some money so he can give her a bottle and you know, put the two and two together. But it would be controlled. You ain't getting the bottle and you ain't giving the bottle. Apparently, Frankie begged her man. She said, I just need a hit. I need a hit. I just need a hit. It's my birthday. I could control it. I just need a hit. And Auntie BB was like, you know what? Let's just do it because it's your birthday, sister. We gonna do it together. Come on. You my sister. I love you. We gonna do it together. He said, you know what? I ain't supposed to do this. I'm gonna give it to you. Now, they decide to roll around in the devil's sand. Okay? It's a choice, a bad choice, the worst possible decision that they could have made that night. Hours later, they're passed out in the trailer. Now, if you know anything about people that do, especially people that hit hard, there's been several times where Frankie has been on the street passed out from doing, but that does not mean that there's something wrong. It's something wrong, but that they're not dead. Used to it at this point. They're used to seeing both of them passed out and knocked out for hours because, again, when someone does drugs, that is what happened. Now, Auntie BB's boyfriend at the time comes into the trailer and allegedly he sees Frankie and he sees BB and he's like, BB, wake up. BB, wake up. BB don't wake up. So he's like, I'm finna get my woman in an ambulance because something ain't right.
I should have said this. I'm sorry. I should have said this. Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger freaking warning. Because what he about to say is not, oh my God, this is, hold on, just give me a second. All right, I'm back. Like I said, trigger warning, guys.
Calls an ambulance for Auntie BB. He comes, he picks her up out the trailer, and he puts her in Yaya's house in the bed. He leaves Frankie, allegedly. They come, the ambulance comes, and they come and get Auntie BB, and they take Auntie BB to the hospital. He rides with Auntie BB. Frankie is still in the trailer. I don't know the time period between Frankie being left in that trailer until they found her, but when Frankie's boyfriend finds her in the trailer, he says she was cold and blue, allegedly. This is all something that Tifa just now told us. And I was wondering, well, where did she get this information? Well, if you remember, Elite and Neffy are in Oakland at Frankie's apartment, her studio apartment. That man was also in that studio apartment with them prior to him telling this story. When he told this story, all broke loose. I don't know what day he told this story, and I don't know how long they have been in communication with this man because, again, he was with my mom, so that was her man. I asked Tifa, why are you telling me this now? Why are you telling Sam this now? Why is this information being brought up right now for me when you know that we're all siblings? Why wouldn't that would be a moment that we need to come together and be like, you know what? Some is not right. All I could do was cry. Because what do you mean you know this? What do you mean you heard this? And this is something that was said to you and you haven't even told nothing. I know nothing. Sam knows. Why aren't you telling us? Even more, did you tell the police? Is there a police report? Do you give a about her like she's your mother? Because you're on Instagram posting you're sad, you don't know what to do. Oh my God, you missed your mother. Is it for Instagram or is it really because you love your mother? I'm confused. Neffy, I go to check Neffy's Instagram. She's promoting hair care products and wigs. What the are we doing? You lost your mother. I just found out this horrific information and you're posting beanies and bonnets? I want to remind you, I'm pissed at this point because, again, it's not the withholding of the information. It's the information that I'm receiving and the fact that that's our mother and no one seemed to do anything or give a about the situation at all to say, speak, or tell anybody. Like, what the are you keeping it inside for? So she proceeds to tell me that allegedly Frankie's boyfriend at the time moved her body from the trailer to her apartment. Now, again, you have to remember, Frankie has and had these symptoms and done these things multiple times. Her passing out and blacking out in the field or blacking out in the back of a car or a trailer or at somebody's house, they're used to it. Now, they get back to the apartment. They lay her in the bed. This is where Tifa tells me he calls Elite and says, yo, mama is passed out. You need to come over. So allegedly, Elite goes over to the house and she's shaking Frankie. So allegedly she's shaking Frankie and Frankie is cold and she's blue. Now this is, I guess, when reality sets.
I told y'all, trigger fucking warning. Trigger fucking warning. Because I'm an emotional person. And just listening to this all over again with you guys in my chat and just me hearing it again, I would never, ever. My heart hurts. I'm sorry. This is insane. Like you said, where are the police? Come on. Even if this is a story time for him, is this really how this lady freaking passed away? Do anybody care? My heart hurts. This is fucking insane.
Saying allegedly they call the police, the ambulance, they pronounce her dead. Now, I really want you to understand who Tifa is because at the end of the day, she tells the truth no matter what. That little I love her to death. When she is angry and when she is mad, that's when all of the truth comes out. It's almost like a wave and you just got to take it for what it is because I was not prepared to get hit by this tsunami. I need to collect the information the way I can. So that's why I 100% believe exactly what she told me because she came angry and then she told me the angry truth. There was no way that I was going to be able to communicate this to Elite or Neffy. But unfortunately, Sam did. And once that got thrown in the air, once he started telling them what he knew, they knew Tifa was with us because she was the only one around them that knew this information. How would we know? Then it became a situation of Tifa. I don't give a about Tifa. Elite didn't want to hear from Tifa. She's a traitor and she don't want to speak to her. Elite goes on Instagram and now she's pissed again. Like I said, she goes on a rant on her story. Baby, she's telling it like no other. Them hoes, them I'm all types of gay. Oh my God, like homophobic girl. Don't you lick coochie? Sitting in a Greyhound station because my Greyhound comes at 8:30, I think 8:30 or 8:35. And I'm getting a call from a random number. And I'm like, okay, normally I ignore the calls. I don't give a call if it's not a number that I have saved. I will never answer a call if it's not saved in my phone. But then I got another call and I'm like, I think there's somebody trying to contact me, but then if they want me, they'll send a text message or leave a message or something like that. If you really want to get in contact with me, you're going to let me know. Then I get a text message that says, call me back, period. At this point, I'm thinking it's Elite playing on my phone. But then again, it could be somebody that's important. But then again, do I want to deal with this right now? I really don't have time. I just lost my mom. I'm still trying to process that. I'm still trying to process the fact that this was getting gangbanged in my apartment.
Gangbang. Before I paused it, I was about to say that man got Frankie whole face, but then he said something about gangbang in his apartment. But that man looked just like Frankie. That's the scary part about him and Sammy. I don't know if you guys know who Sammy is. Sammy is the older brother with the dreads. They both look just like Frankie. Keyshia Coles, she resembles her mom, but she got her nose done, so it takes away from her Frankie nose, because Frankie got this nose. Elite and Neffy look just alike, like fucking twins. So, and then, you know, Frankie got like 19,000 kids. So we only know the ones that, you know, been out, you know, on the show.
I let it sit for a minute, and 30 minutes later, I called the number back. It rings about 3 to 4 times, and somebody picks up the phone and they say, "Hey, what's up?" And I'm like, "Hello? Who's this?" They're like, "It's your sister." I'm like, I got hella fucking sisters. Who is this? And then she's like, "It's Keyshia. Who else would it be?" And in my head, I'm trying to process the fact that, like, I guess I was supposed to assume or know who the this is on my phone. Girl, I don't know voice, and she has a smoker's voice. I have an aunt that has a smoker's voice, but Keyshia, when she's just regularly talking, she has a smoker's voice. So it throws me the
I ain't gonna hold you. Keyshia Coles do got that smoker, that rasky ass voice. Yeah, she do got that. I'm dead. On arrival, he said.
Because I'm like, what kind of hood booger voice is that? I'm like, "Oh, what's up? What you want?" I'm just checking on you. I'm making sure, like, you're okay, because I see they dogpiled on you, and you know that's not right. I'm like, "They dogpiled on me? What are you talking about?" She was like, "Oh, well, in the group chat, I seen that you was getting dogpiled on, and, you know, I didn't really know the information of what was..."
Pause. Period. Let me find out. Everybody got group chats that they be talking shit about, while y'all be on this internet crying and whining, talking about, "You talking about me in group chats and group messages." Damn, Keyshia Cole got a whole group chat where she was listening to. I was being messy right there.
I see they dogpiled on you, and you know that's not right. I'm like, "They dogpiled on me? What are you talking about?" She was like, "Oh, well, in the group chat, I seen that you was getting dogpiled on, and, you know, I didn't really know the information of what was going on, and, you know, I was just kind of confused because, like, we don't talk." I'm like, you weren't in the group chat. You and Neffy were not in the group chat. I'm confused how you know anything when you weren't in the group chat. She was like, "I was in the group chat. I don't know what you're talking about." Oh, it didn't click to me in that moment that there was another group chat, but there was another group chat that my not in. I told her, I was like, "Oh, it's okay. Like, you know what? I'm not worried about it. It's words. Our mother passed away. How are you doing?" He said, "I kind of just want to take a step back because I have to understand that we both lost our mothers. We all lost our mothers. And at this point, I can't be the mother that she wasn't to you guys." I said, "Absolutely." I was like, "You know what? This is the realest that somebody has said." And I said this verbatim. "That's the realest any of my siblings have said thus far. Thank you for pointing that out, because I feel the same. Frankie was my biological mother because of blood. But my mother, the lady that raised me, she's not her." Keyshia laughing at this point because she's just like, "You know what? You just remind me of mom so much." I was like, "You know what, Keyshia? What I want you to do is call Sam, because this is where everything started. I would like you to call Sam. And honestly, I would like you to sit back and do nothing. After you call Sam, sit back and do nothing. Because again, we are not doing this for Keyshia Cole. Our mother passed away. Period. We need to get it together for us so that we can throw a funeral for our mother, and that be that." She said, "You know what? I can't take a step back because, again, this is my mother, but I was just really trying to check up on you because I didn't like what was said, and I kind of just want to stay neutral to it all." And I was like, "You know what? Absolutely. I 100% understand you. And like I said, whatever position or direction you take, that's your own direction. That's how you choose to deal with the situation. And how I choose to deal with it, we don't have to be the same. And that's okay." We just continue to talk for a little bit. We were on the phone for like maybe 30 minutes. And then she decides to say, like, "You know, I can't really step in with the situation of Sam and them not getting along because Sam and Neffy have a situation, and that's what is kind of messing up everything." And I didn't really understand it at the time because, again, I don't know shit. Nobody tells me shit because we all don't talk. So I don't know. I'm new to all of the beef, the drama, all of it. So you know I like to get my lick back. So before we got off this phone, she did ask me, she said, hey, did you ever continue school? I said, absolutely. I graduated college already. She was like, really? Oh my God, that's so good. I said, yeah, I would have invited you, but the last time I invited you anywhere, you told me that I had to come to your graduation. So yeah, I see you didn't invite me to that college graduation of yours. And she busts out laughing. He said, get off my phone, Frankie Jr., and hung up on me. Which, granted, you know what? Absolutely. Hey, because college, yeah, yeah, let's talk about my ass on this Greyhound. I call Sam and I tell him, hey, you know, I spoke to Keyshia. I told her I would like her to talk to you and I would like her to take a little bit of a step back. And she also mentioned that you and Nephi got an issue. I don't know what the hell. You can you inform me what the going on? I have to tell this part because this part is the reason why there was a disconnect that I did not see between Sam, Elite, and Nephi. And again, you have to understand, I am not someone who's been around because I was with my adopted family, okay? So this is the first time of me trying to actually physically, emotionally be present with my biological family. And in my heart, I want to make up what I didn't give my adopted mother. So if I can be here for Frankie's funeral, it could be more than what I gave to my mother because I was not there. Now, Sam tells me that there was a point in time where he was down and out and he went to go stay in Atlanta with Nephi. Now, him and Nephi was cool. Everything was good. He ends up stacking his money up and he gets an apartment right across the hall from Nephi. Now, he said, allegedly, they were drinking, they were having fun, everything was cool. Went left, he passed out, and he said, allegedly, she attempted to him, allegedly.
I cannot, and I will not, and I cannot. Trigger warning, trigger warning. Wait.
Well, do you really want me to tell everybody how my mama really died that night? Don't bring me into this. I've been quiet. Y'all laughed at me, y'all on me, y'all used me and abused me.
That's it, guys. Now, I'm going to go back into my archives and find the video that I did. And I'm quite sure I can find that audio of Sam. You guys comment down below. You guys know what to do with my channel. You can like, sub up to it. But whatever you do, just talk to me down below. Down below in the comment section. Let me know if you guys been following this or not. Either or. I'm going to come back with another part of it. Appreciate everybody that came in the building. Boom, 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 boom. Thank you, guys.